So, we seem to have lost our WWE champion to injury. This is bad timing on WWE's part, but could be opportunity for another. Wait, so they've already decided to... They said they were going to do a tournament to decide who the new champion is going to be. And I'm thinking, a world tournament to decide the new champion in Survivor Series. Now, where have I heard this before? 'Cause it's a deadly game.
I wonder.
Play it now before the game is over.
Yep.
Welcome.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the new athlete title Saturday Night's Main Event podcast. Because apparently somebody already had a Suplex City Podcast, but they haven't officially tried to trademark us for that name. So we kind of got
as soon as I put the last video up.
This still is the fourth episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
But now, apropos, we're titled the Saturday Night's Main Event Podcast.
Well, I had
the night you love to hate.
Even though we're probably going to upload this on Friday because that's when we do it. But I had two ideas for as far as I wanted to... I didn't know what Vexpers were. I have them on Skype right now. But actually, I think I closed Skype because I don't know if I was doing things. Because I thought I was having mic trouble. And no, I sound clear as a bell in here. I guess I got to look up the thing you linked me on Audacity. I'll figure that out later.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I had two ideas. One was going to be a throwaway for like a week, and then I'll see if you like this one. The throwaway one was we were going to be the podcast with no name. And I thought, like, oh, Ed Leslie. I'm like, oh, that'll put butts in seats. Honestly, I was thinking more of the Retsupre that they did of the man with no name, that weird-ass fucking MS Paint shit. Made me think more of that than Ed Leslie, because I guess that's more over. And the thing I had in mind, because I started my own podcast after I was in and out of the WolfTAP podcast, or just the WolfTAP. So, their thing, well, they have their original group. That's, you could call them maybe the Hollywood New World Order faction. I splintered off, and now I have my own kind of three-man group here, or usually just the two of us, because Vexpers are kind of in and out. So, I was thinking we call ourselves the Triple Axis Podcast Wolfpac, or for short, the WolfTAP.
No, actually, I found one better. This is the NWO idea. Well, that we should call ourselves the Monday Night Nitro Podcast since they're the WWE podcast. Alright. So, anywho, with that enough to talk about our podcasting, let's get over into the wrestling. First off, we cover Monday Night Raw.
I'm gonna say.
And of course that we start things off here with
what do we have? Well, you do gaming news first, don't we? Or you don't have anything this week?
Yeah, I don't have anything majorly relevant in game news. So.
I got a couple things because man, they went crazy with the audio files for Street Fighter V, and it revealed some of the newer. It did confirm the leaked list of the newer characters. Let me post that in the Discord chat there. Oh, cool! Get a little thingy there. Oh wow, they do a whole thing with they do an explanation too. That's cool. So yeah, there's a couple files there, all the new characters, including the new guy they're calling Zen. He's now called Fan or Fun, I thought it was. It's like Fan. And the audio files made him sound like, ew, Lord Bison. Googly doogly. So he's like a sound like a very British foppish character. So maybe he's maybe his name's like Fan. I'm thinking like he's a fan of Shadow, like he's I'm a fanboy. Yes, Bison, Lord Bison.
Yeah. Yeah, and Bison is Daniel Bryan in Street Fighter.
Daniel Bison. Yes! Yes! Not until I see that shield pummeled to dust. Don't be hasty, Kane.
Also, fucking Guile, the John Cena of Street Fighter.
He's in it. He's in it too. I don't know if I mentioned that. He's in too. I thought it was fan fun. I thought he'd be like a Chinese character, but no, he sounds like the sound files. Even the sound files even had names for the Capcom Pro Tour events, like Evo or NorCal Regionals, and that's just some of the shit in the U.S. Like there's like a whole list, but. Also, a beta tutorial emerged with Gouken just in still cutscenes, and hoping that's not the rest of the game's actual storyline isn't like that. We get like, I don't know, because they were going to do like a big story thing now following how well it worked for MK9 and 10. I remember seeing an article for that, so it's going to be a story in that regard, so it's not just going to be like, now fight your rival, and we get like a little bit, so I'm glad they're fleshing it out like that. So yeah, we got it sounds like all the voice actors from 4 are back for this one, because that's Kale Bear's Ryu. So, and a lot of them sound the same. I think Vega sounds a lot better in 5 than 4. Like the accent is more pronounced. He's it was good in 4, but I think he's even better now in 5. Like they're really like hammering it home. Like, hey, he's Spanish. He's a luchador. Combo Fiend. Their side had a taste of the characters' themes, and they kicked Street Fighter 4's themes right in the dick more times than putting Android 13 punching Goku in his on repeat for 10 minutes straight. So far, my fave is Karin, as far as if I could pick one. And on the other end, SNK, they're getting their shit together, because they've announced they're like, we're done with patches slots. We're done. You know, we're gonna do fighting games again. So, and this is on the step new reveals for KOF 14, looking to be more like a 2.5D fighter. Like it's not gonna be like big 3D or something like that, like people were like, dreading. So basically like Street Fighter 4, it's gonna be like. It also revealed Leona and Chang in an orange prison jumpsuit, which is a new look for him completely. I'm like. Did something happen to Kim? A demo will be playable at the PlayStation Experience December 5th and 6th. So, this is hopefully the first in a long, long step to SNK Playmore getting back to doing what brought him to the dance. So, then, excitement on both sides again. I'm like, oh, I'm like 98 all over again. I'm excited for both things. And I didn't, back when the internet was still in its infancy, I had to concentrate on like fan files and GeoCities and shit like that. I was like, now it's all over the place. Now you can't get rid of it. We got people data mining and bringing all these leaks. I think they leaked a character list too, but I don't want to get into that. I think I'm going to save it for maybe next week. It's probably up there now if you can look it up. But I remember one of them was off the top of my head, Tung Fu Ru, and because it's loose, because it's like translated, so they don't know every character, so there might be some newer characters. I'm hoping whatever team Tung Fu Ru is on, he's in there with Toto from like the first Toto, Ryu Haku from Art of Fighting, and for the first time since Fatal Fury 2/Special, Jubei Yamada throwing cookies and doing judo shit on people. Like just another Oyaji team, old man team. So I'm stoked.
Yeah.
But anyway, that brings us to Raw. Hey, you know what's a good idea? I have an idea. How about we, for free TV, do a Survivor Series match? Does that sound like a good idea to you? Well, fuck you! I'm Vince McMahon. I'll do what I want, damn it.
Sorry, fuck you, I'm Vince McMahon, damn it. It's me, Austin! Oh, son of a bitch. What? It's me, Austin! It was me all along!
I'm the higher power. You changed my letters.
You and my immediate family bought it.
Switch my letters around, I'm actually Sister Abigail the whole time. I know somebody tweeted that. Maybe I immediately remembered higher power. That was the best and worst. So we got the number one contender for the WWE title, Roman Reigns, who says that, in ring Rollins is good, but where he's really good is he's kissing ass. I hate suck up liars that stab people in the back, so I guess I hate Seth Rollins. And Rollins, in turn, pays Roman a compliment. Says, yeah, I picked you to be on the Shield for a reason. You took Lesnar's best and kept coming. You stayed strong, but, I got the belt, so you'll always be second best. The Authority comes out, and this week I didn't have time to bring my dice bag for this one, so I'm just going to do like a little bit of a wheel roll. They face to the heel, like face, heel, face, heel, face, face, heel. They're not giving away a title match for free. They're giving a Survivor Series match away for free, so go figure that. You're getting it on the, as they say, the 29th anniversary, but I think somebody pointed out it's the 28th. So I'm terrible with numbers, so I don't know.
Yeah.
So, 5-on-5. Completely for free TV. Seth Rollins captains a team, Roman Reigns captains a team.
Yep. So we start off tonight with Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler.
Good match. Commercial break as Tyler Breeze makes an appearance, so this was kind of hampered by that, I think. If this was SmackDown, Dolph would have already been distracted and Owens would have picked up with the win, I feel like. But we got 3 hours to fill, so that happens. We're going to extend it, We got 3 hours to fill now, so. And Ziggler eventually fed up with Tyler taking selfies during his match. He goes to attack him, and sure enough, Owens snatches him up with that pop-up powerbomb, and Breeze just jumps on him afterwards.
Yep. Then afterwards, Rhea and Becky are backstage talking about their number 1 contender Fatal 4-Way match later on tonight.
We had Seth earlier before this hyping me up for a personally show-stealing main event. He's like, hey, WrestleMania could be me and you, champion versus champions, Seth and Owens. And Owens is like, yeah, I'll agree on you, team. But remember, you owe me one. Anyway, there's the PCB thing.
Yeah, we mentioned that. Next up, we have Cesaro taking on The Miz. The fact about all you need to know about this match is Cesaro swung around 25 times and then followed up with a sharpshooter for 2 minutes of tap. Done. Game match over.
Yeah. The Stardust section back again. Stardust in the crowd with fucking spikes on his shoulders now. He stole Natalia's look. Kind of. Is he like another Road Warrior? Well, he's still tagging with the Ascension, who are pretty much, so. Kind of rates itself, I guess. And, I didn't know what to call it. He had like a telescope to get like a better look at the match. He's like a golden telescope. He's like, yeah, I can see you over here. Lord Bison. I feel like that's gonna be my main. I want to see more of that person before I decide. A periscope to get a better look, not the app or whatever that is. Old man Renault. I don't know that. But the seriousness is gone. Miz was but Miz does get cocky and gets swung like fucking crazy. I had to be almost a full minute. Poor Miz is just getting Cesaro. Actually, thank God Cesaro didn't job to the Miz. Oh, if he did, I would have been like, you know what? I'm taking off this week. Would have been like Miz boots Cesaro. Cesaro job to the Miz. Podcast over. But no, thankfully it didn't happen.
So next up, then we have Bray and the Wyatts come out. They reveal us as the King of Undertaker, but then Bray shows off his new cricket powers that he got eventually. I don't know why, because if Bray had these powers all the time, for why he could have just fucking thunderbolted the Undertaker and Kane and fucking won that shit. Which reminded me of the latest Botchamania ending with fucking that Kane and Seth Rollins Pokemon pal that they had. Matthew, you're just the greatest. Keep doing for what you're doing at Botchamania. So anywho, they had Bray come out there, showing off his lightning and his thunder.
That's why he got injured. Vexper said that's what Seth did for wrestling Kane. He got injured and then he stole his soul, and now it's like maybe Seth was next on his list and he's gone now too. If Bray starts doing fucking frog splashes, oh man. He's like, I have the power. He's become the Shang Tsung. He's got their powers. He's like, I summon the thunder, the lightning, the forces of darkness as the eater of worlds. It is well within my power to summon evil and scorch this earth. So he basically has lightning and pyro shit going on as the screen goes to this Taker Kane history of vignette. It looks really cool, and then it just like swirls and fades to black and somehow we get a Popeyes commercial after that. I'm like, the man just ate fucking souls. You're gonna give me you're gonna sell me chicken? Oh, speaking of ads, I feel the need to bring this up because it bothers the shit out of me. Or it might bother the shit out of some of you listeners, or maybe you can vouch for me on this one. But we know Big E is like this, don't you dare be sour. I always get like, do you get the same commercials I do? Do you get them Arby's commercials, like the salt in the meats and the Arby's? And I think like,
yeah, the Arby's, we have the meat.
Yeah, okay, so you do get that. Am I crazy and thinking that's like Big E or something like that, or maybe relation at some point? Like I feel like if you did a New Day promo and then like segue into like the Arby's thing, or Big E just comes out like they're doing a thing. They did this for Payday too. They're gonna do a thing and it's gonna be like Arby's and Big E's gonna be like, oh, Arby's, New Day has the meat. As he motivates
it's like that Arby's puts up.
I better. Yeah. How do you do that?
And we lost for Noah. And people we lost for Noah for the podcast. Good night, everybody.
I'm just imagining like fucking like the like ostrich, like Big E just like right in his right in his pecs, just oh damn, I'm so sweaty. Oh my god.
Anywho, next up after that, we have the Lucha Dragons taking on King Barrett and Sheamus.
Yeah, they got a vignette of their own. I'm like, huh, I guess they're winning. And I guess because they won the Fatal 4-Way on SmackDown, yeah, they take on the Euro Healins. This spot was good. Sin Cara takes Kalisto and flips him over and on top of Barrett for a near fall. Like, holy shit. And then Barrett tosses him to the barricade for retaliation. He's like, don't make me look bad. I need a glass of water so I can bend it.
Yeah. The AU action and match that Coulter is having a fat stage reunion with his old mate Jack Swagger.
Wait, we didn't see.
But then Adam comes afterwards with Brooklyn Del Rio, and there it's like a Brooklyn Del Rio tells Jack Swagger there to stay away from him and stuff. It's like, poor Jack Swagger, back down in Superstars, you go. Wait, you're already in Superstars, so that's kind of a moot point. So,
well, maybe not. He's like, what are you doing? Why he's backstage? Jack Swagger on TV. He's like, what are you doing? And Zeb's like, we're bringing two great countries together. We'd bring in Canadians too if they weren't so simple-minded. I'm like, oh, so much for Owens being in because that would be hype. Del Rio and Owens, like, wow. It's like just bringing two great people together. I guess that's for Survivor Series. If they do a 5-on-5, I can feel like Del Rio, like, I'm gonna get me I need some Mex-Americans, and I'm terrible with his accent because he's like Regal. He has like one accent for like Del Rio, and his different accent is like a bit more relaxed and it sounds a little different. I feel like he's like William Regal in that, where he's like one accent and then the other. So he's like, stay out of there. And this match, him and R-Truth again in a longer, quieter match. I know in Japan it's respectful for a crowd stay silent, but this was weird. I would still say that again, this may be me just being old man Renoa, but I like it better than in NXT where every match there's a fucking chant, and I mean every match. It's not something I don't think I'm a fan of that. So again, that might just be me being a little curmudgeon on that regard. But anyway,
why you don't like that? Why you don't like the "This is awesome"?
Every match. Awesome. Every match. I get it. You're NXT, you're awesome, but every match with the chance, oh man. Ooh, NXT really got on my shit list today. Well, at least for part of it. But anyway. Oh, Seth Rollins! Oh wait, no, I meant to do that as Big E. I wrote down in all caps, ooh, Seth Rollins. Supposed to be, oh, Seth Rollins.
Whoa, Seth Rollins, we need you for the Survivor Series matchup. Oh, you can praise the Almighty Lord of the New Day and the Unicorns. Amen, brother.
And they clap really hard. They put their fingers to their temples, and they're like, oh. We summoned the unicorn version of Shenron, and we're keeping tight, and Xavier Woods is back. Team Rollins. It's just like just like joining it for a little bit, and he's like, no, we're cool. I'm leaving. We're good. Sasha.
Yeah.
Officially my new wrestling waifu. She's interviewed by JoJo, who says the universe has been chanting, like, we want Sasha. Any pressure to deliver tonight? And Sasha's like, excuse you? I always deliver, and as far as people chanting, we want Sasha, can you blame them? Look at me, of course they do. I'm like, yeah, I'm looking at you. Becky, Brie, Paige, Fatal 4-Way tonight. That's up next after this. You're going to find out tonight what Natalya found out on SmackDown. I'm the boss around here, and I'm taking over. Actually, it's Becky Lynch that takes over for this match. It takes it to all three. We finally get to see Becky Lynch in the ring, like, doing what she does. I'm like, okay, cool. This was...
Speaking of which, that Brie Bella is also going to be out injured, but WWE, in their utter stupidity, is going to try and cover that shit up. It's like fucking Big Brie, along with Seth Rollins, drop the Divas Championship and fucking give it to Paige or Charlotte. I mean, wait, Charlotte's Divas Champion. My bad. Anywho, it's like, fucking just put Charlotte versus Paige and Sasha Banks and make that triple threat or something. I don't know.
I was looking at, and this was another thing Vexper turned me on to, because I'm watching Table of Three, and I'm looking at, one of them was the second generation of divas. It was Natalya, Tamina, and Charlotte. And I was like, ooh, that's a good triple threat right there, if they weren't using Tamina as just like muscle and having her lose every week, which I'll get to.
Right.
But yeah, this Fatal 4-Way was pretty good, and, well, 75% of it, I'm like, one of those things is not like the other. One of those girls just doesn't belong. Becky with that fucking Beth Phoenix strength spot with like a huge maneuver on the other three divas. It's like, oh, it looked amazing. Poor Sasha gets sent out to the ring on that one. Back later with the bank statement, and I thought she was going to win.
You mean the Diva Tower of Doom spot?
Yeah. Oh, it looked great. Fantastic stuff. And again, we finally get to see everybody hit their awesomeness, and again, Brie was there. Paige on the attack to keep Becky Lynch from tapping out to the bank statement. Just throw Sasha out. Rampage to Lynch. Paige is your new #1 contender. And she has an interview with Byron Sexton after the match. She's like, she's like, Brie, Sasha, Becky Lynch, losers! Big losers! You want a big fat dirt bottle, you loser? And you're losers by association if you cheer them. You're gonna be the same if you cheer for Flair's baby girl, because this is my house. And she's like, yeah, you should put it over. And I'm like, okay, finally. Paige, she's not being, like, oh, my friends are just being like, oh, I like them better. I'm like, no, I'm fucking everybody up and I'm kicking ass. I'm like, all right, that's just finally turning the Divas division on its head again as the original anti-diva. I'm like, yes, okay, good. Renee back with Charlotte saying, who's glad she won, but, it's obvious she'll do whatever it takes to win, so will I. She wanted to run me down? Please, continue to beat the same drum. Continue to underestimate me. Say I'm here just because of my dad. It makes me that much stronger and determined to prove that statement wrong. I'm like,
with that,
I'm hype. Yeah. Main event time.
Move on
already.
Wow. On to the Survivor Series main event. And let's start off with a fucking New Day, proving why they're the best in the world currently. Because of the whole thing with the New Day rocking out the Seth Rollins thing.
They did it for Owens, too. You got a little bit of Owens, but then Owens was already out there, so they do a little bit, and you get Big Young guitar, and Owens is just looking over like, okay.
Yeah. And then later on, we found out
Owens.
that
he's like Sky at that point. He's like, no fun.
Yeah, later on, we have a return of the when I say A, you say wait, fuck, messed up. Whatever, when I say ooh, you say oh, ooh's return. Oh,
big return for these guys. I'm like, because there was nothing for because Rollins backstage was gathering his team, but I'm like, oh, who's he gonna get? So I'm thinking okay, he's gonna Dean's gonna be in there. I know that, and sure enough, he was in there. And who else could he get? I'm like, oh, the Usos. Okay, cool. And Ryback in a blue beanie. Rye blue? But yeah, the returning Usos. I feel like they're gonna be the Matt and Jeff to the New Day's Team Eck. You know, you can quote me on that. These two are gonna be like the Dudleys. I'm like, yeah, they're they've had their shot, and I feel like the Usos are gonna be in there. It's like, okay, they're gonna start. I'm gonna feel like they're gonna start trading back and forth the titles if they still did the Attitude Era thing. But I don't know if any two teams were to like just bring that shit back and just be hype again, because the Usos are super over with the crowd as they usually are, and of course the New Day is too. And oh man, they said their favorite band, reality show, and Destiny's Child is Survivor, clearly missing out on an opportunity for their favorite Destiny's Child to be Bootylicious. That's just me. But yeah, so this was a good match. I got like 2 paragraphs of this because this was elimination 5-on-5.
No, actually, it's 4-on-4.
Well, 4-on-5 because Woods takes the Mark Henry spot like the last one and gets beat out early. By the way, they did that. They were doing like I remember it because they were throughout the night they were doing like a past Survivor Series, and that was one of their big thing where it's like, oh, Dolph Ziggler. Remember when he was booked to be like the second face, big face or something like that? The sole survivor, and now he's getting beat on by I guess like the fresher, newer, cooler looking version. We traded up for Tyler Breeze. I don't want to. I feel that's hard to say, and I feel like an ass for saying it, but that's what this is. I think so. How you book it anyway else? Yeah. But anyway.
So here that ends Raw. Now let's move on over to NXT.
Well, I didn't get to.
So we start off.
Whoa! We're still talking about the match. Like, Woods he got beat on. Ended early. He took the Mark Henry spot. Where was I? Owens being thrown into by Big E into Jey Uso, who Big E starts gyrating and he backs away. He saw what the 3 of you did to the middle rope before that first commercial break. We all saw it. In no way was that PG. Flying Uso as Jimmy rolls Kofi in and pins him, so now it's 5-on-3. Big E with the big ending avenges Kofi and eliminates Jey. Jimmy with the super kick on Big E, who crumples to the outside and gets the tag to Owens on the way out. So Jimmy about to fly out at Big E, but Owens catches him. Powerbombs Jimmy. The Usos are done as the sides are even up. Back from commercial. Seth, for some reason, starts slapping Reigns around, so he gets pitched over the top rope for his trouble. Ryback shell shocks Big E, eliminates him. He gets eliminated in turn via Seth's pedigree, the Sethogree, if you will. Ambrose nearly eliminates Seth by himself, but gets battered by both Seth and Kevin Owens for a while. They're trash talking him. Ambrose, Seth's like, I'm gonna jump on the top rope. You hold him in place. And of course, this is a spot where Ambrose rolls out of the way and Owens eats the top rope finisher instead. Seth wants to drop the knee on Ambrose, but misses and gets Owens. Dirty deeds. And Rollins is all alone against his former stablemate to just dissect him. And he's like, he keeps running away. They pull him back in. It's like, well, fuck this. I'm going to grab a chair. I'm going to lose by DQ. I'm like, okay, that's an interesting way to end it. About to attack Reigns after beating on Ambrose, who just gets Superman punched and sent off title in hand. And that's Raw. Oh boy, NXT. Yep. There was a big up, and then there was like, ooh, and then back up again. Which it was like a roller coaster. Yeah. It started high, and then back up again. Asuka laying waste to girl by Cameron.
Yeah, Cameron, and basically squash. And Asuka picks up her with her signature Asuka lock for the win. So it's right there. Next, and we take a look back at Enzo and Cass being attacked by the mechanics. And in Carmella's interview, she revealed that Cass has a sprained MCL. So, which why that could potentially happen, or the thing that happens next week. Spoiler: the mechanics interrupted her mid-joke that was other injuries that occurred. That Carmella walks away, and the mechanics started revealing that they had an NXT Tag Team Championship next week. And they brought the wheelchair and told Tom.
They got the shot.
Yeah. Yeah, so they give it to the Vaudevillains here. So, and next up we have...
They bring out a wheelchair, too, for this. they have like a wheelchair. Like they're really putting over the fact that they actually like beat these guys. I'm like, wow, these guys are getting over his heels, like heel to kind of. Oh, speaking of tag teams, Jordan Gable actually does bring up that the world's greatest tag team, and Jordan's like, no. I told you about that shit, you know. I'm like, oh, it's awesome. They have an idea on how they can quote unquote ascend to the NXT tag division by issuing a challenge to the longest reigning and most dominant tag team on NXT, the Ascension. Really? Oh. I ask, saying, having not seen them on NXT and not knowing how over they used to be. Bull! Love this guy.
Bull.
First time I've seen him, Bull Dempsey. I already love him. He's the big white Kamala, is what I remember Biggie saying last week. Like, Bubba was the big white Kamala. He actually does like the belly spot kind of. Then again, Kamala never moved like that. Holy shit.
You know what fucking Bull Dancing reminds me of? That fucking guy that was with Elisha Burke back on like 06 or 07 SmackDown.
Sylvester Terkay, yeah, kinda. That's what Rusev reminded me of first. When I first saw him, I was like, wow, that's what Rusev made me think of at first.
So anywho, Angelo Dawkins gets beat in our second squad match tonight.
Yeah. He has a headband called Curse of Greatness, more like Curse of having to fight Bull Dempsey. Holy shit. Didn't know who was... had to look him up. Sawyer Fulton's out there with him for... I don't know if they're like a tag team or if he's just trying to get on the guy over and he just like ditches him after he loses. The Vaudevillains get the wheelchair, and the message from Tom Phillips in English is like, leave it to two sophomore rednecks or roughnecks. I think he said. They call them rednecks because they look kind of...
the roughnecks, yeah.
Roughnecks. I wasn't sure. Add insult to injury and take a cheap shot. What they did was not pretty, but neither was our climb to the ranks of NXT. I personally faced men that showed both companies. We plan to add our name to that upper echelon and when we beat Dash and Dawson. Gotch says, they're not gentlemen. They take the easy way out. It works for them. Being gentlemen has worked out pretty well for us. Now we will maintain our titles. He doesn't do it like that, but he's got the mustache. I can't help it. They look amazing, by the way, too. I love it's just another people I took like one look at, and I'm like, wow, those guys are your tag champs. Amazing.
Okay, so then basically after that, Bayley sets up her 6-person intergender match for next week.
Yes.
With her teaming up with the Hype Brothers. So
that's where Zack Ryder's been. Yeah, he's in a tag team with didn't know the other guy, Mojo Rawley. Not sure what he's about, but I guess I'll get a better look at them. And because apparently that Blake and Murphy guy, they were former tag champs in their own right before they I guess became like Alexa Bliss lackeys or whatever.
Yeah. So with that,
the Poison is here in NXT. And no, we're not talking about the NWO.
Yeah. And next up, we have the lowest point of the show.
Yeah,
Eve Marie taking out Gianna Dio. And it's like, my God. Eve Marie, please get off the WWE roster. You're so bad. You're so bad. There's even one point over there during the match where the crowd was chanting, they couldn't say you fucked up, but they obviously say, you fucked up. You fucked up. You fucked up. On one spot so bad. And it's that, of course, Eve Marie there won again. It's just like, God.
I was like, oh, her suplex looked good. Has she gotten better? No. And now she's the recipient of that she's so ratchet. No, she's not. So I'm like, oh, okay.
Eve Marie is the Roman Reigns of divas.
Except for Roman Reigns is actually
Roman
competent.
Reigns is improvement. Yeah,
Roman Reigns got better. I don't know. Eva Marie, jury's still out. I've only seen her. Maybe you people have seen more of her, and maybe you're like, no, we've given up on her. She hit again. The suplex was clean, and then that was like the best move that she hit, because even like her drop kick was like to like the floor was like really shitty, and her finish was like the safest, most like the really safest looking DDT, like someone who doesn't want to take a bump, take a DDT, like oh I can't take this bump. It's like just right to the, like as close to the floor as you can make it. And she's like 1, 2, 3, Eva wins. I'm like, oh fuck that.
So next up we come from the lowest point now to the highest point with a great match for Finn Balor versus Apollo Crews for the NXT Championship. Apollo Crews is about to win it, but then, unfortunately, that Baron Corbin and Samoa Joe came over there and wrecked it. There caused Finn Balor to retain the title by DQ.
Yeah, they turned out the lights for this one when they announced this. Did they do this all the time? Because the only other title match I've seen was that Tokyo thing where Finn Balor won it in the first place, which was a stellar match in its own right. This was good too, because they were like hitting all their best shit. Everyone was getting like them big kicks in, back and forth. Pretty even match as far as the quickness goes, as I would expect it to be. It's just both these guys hitting their best shit, and I'm like, oh no, you're gonna spoil it. I'm like, oh, I see what you're doing, but oh man, this match. I would have just given them the whole, just give them the whole fucking hour if you were gonna do that. I'm like, shit. Like, can we get rid of Eva Marie and give these guys like 5? What was that match? Like 3-4 minutes long, I guess.
Yes, that.
Yeah, I didn't know who the other person was. I forget. She looked really nice. She was like a combination of Trish Stratus in a way almost. I was like, nice. But yeah, she jobbed at Eva. Corbin comes out, fucks it all up, tosses out Crews, starts beating on Finn Balor till Samoa Joe runs him off, only to attack Finn Balor. Why'd you do it? They never thought you could, but deep inside, or if you read spoilers, you always knew he would turn heel. That was a long say for that. Nation violence. Smack. Your thing now is up. Ring of Honor.
Yeah, so this might cover my segment over here with Ring of Honor. So we have a 3-man crew this week as everybody's favorite Kung Fu Redneck Mark Briscoe joins. So there with Kelly. I mean, not Kelly. Fuck, that'd be weird. That fucking No, Kelly's not around.
Oh, I thought you said I misheard you. I thought you said Kevin Kelly. Not big ugly.
No, that's what I was meant to say. That's what I meant to say, Renault. So
really?
Everybody's favorite Kung Fu Redneck, Mark Briscoe, joins Kevin Kelly and Nigel McGuinness over there up in the booth. So let's get up on the show. It basically had a segment between with Silas Young and a Beer City Bruiser along with his boys taking on the Young Bucks. This wasn't really of a match over thin air. It was just more of a segment. Then the Young Bucks just finished off everything with a double more bang for your buck. It's a shame that they didn't bring out the Indietaker because
the Indietaker
is you have to see it.
Oh,
it's the Indietaker / Meltzer driver it's like fuck it. You have one of the Young Bucks set him up for a Tombstone pile driver, and then the other Young Buck comes out from the top rope, does the springboard in a 450 motion, catches the legs of the guy that one of the Young Bucks has a Tombstone pile driver, and it does the spike Tombstone pile driver in it.
So it's like
fucking.
So it's like their own version of the Doomsday device, but it's from a chokeslam position.
No, it's not from a chokeslam position. It's from a Tombstone position.
From a Tombstone position. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, I can see that.
Okay, so anywho, with that, next up we have
the Indietaker
for Utter matchup.
I'm sorry, I love that too much.
The Indietaker, aka the Meltzer driver. So anywho, with that, next up we have Will Ferrara taking on Roderick Strong here, and this was a really good matchup here. Goes up to show Cruz how Will Ferrara is here, and then Roderick just beats a Will Ferrara there for the win here. Which unfortunately, Roddy, you're not going to gain your Ring of Honor World Championship shot because pretty much it sets up the next match and the main event of the evening. AJ Styles taking on Adam Cole, taking on Kyle O'Reilly. Here, so we have the former Future Shock mates explode here, and we also have Jay Lethal joining us up on commentary for this matchup. And this triple threat match was fucking great. It proves that Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly have improved a lot. And therefore, when they're just basically becoming the MMA mates of David Richards and Eddie Edwards a couple years ago. So that AJ Styles in here gets the win over Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. This basically foreshadows for what possibly may happen, setting up things for Wrestle Kingdom with AJ Styles winning the Ring of Honor World Championship at Final Battle, beating Jay Lethal, and then possibly maybe setting up this battle with Shinsuke Nakamura. Battle of the Ring of Honor World Champion versus the IWGP Intercontinental Champion. So that does it there for Ring of Honor. Oh, by the way, earlier post match that the Bucks and Styles double Meltzer driver there to Kingdom. So that's an AJ Lethal showdown. Yep. So anyway, with that covers Ring of Honor. Next up, SmackDown.
The Indietaker. I think we have a title. Okay. I think we have a title for the podcast. Just the Indietaker. All right.
Yeah.
SmackDown.
Fucking put that as a podcast.
Yeah. What? The Indiatakers? No.
Yeah.
That's the title.
The Indietaker / Mouser Triber podcast. All right. Anywho, SmackDown.
Opens with Mex America. Zeb Coulter saying, there's a lot of you haters out there that think me and Del Rio could never be on the same page, but there's no room for hate in Mex America. Del Rio has a great match with Neville once again. Neville with almost a Canadian Destroyer looking type of movie hit for near fall. This was good stuff. Hang on, nuts picking up Matt. Him up. Oh. I'll watch that later. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Where was I? Yeah, great match. But Del Rio hits his new stomp finisher that is also Finn Balor's and a setup move for Sasha Banks. Like I've seen this move like a bunch of times, and I'm like, it's like a stomp, and I'm like,
and that's
his looks good because it's from the Tree of Woe. It's like there's no protection
thing.
from it. Yeah. Like from the Tree of Woe position, like you're hung up there and he stomps me like that. I'm like, I like his the most. Sasha just used it as hers is a setup for her submission, the bank statement. Speaking of submissions, Del Rio remembers he has one of those and goes to work on Neville post-match till Swagger comes out and runs him off. Huh. So I guess that's a thing for Survivor Series for the title, U.S. title, like Mex America versus All America. And he's still coming out with the We the People theme. So I guess that's his thing now. I was hoping he would come back with the, yeah, check 1, 2. Oh, yeah. That kind of Rage Against the Machine, but they're not really them. We are the Ascension, and we will put on an actually decent effort against the returning Usos. Still lose, but Jay's got some weird... Did you notice this too? He's got some, like, I don't know what it is, but he's got like his bottom row of teeth, he's got like some bling going on, like his bottom row of teeth are golden.
Not sure about that, so.
Yeah, I don't know if he was wearing like a brace or like a I thought he had like maybe like mouth guard or something like that. I know Neville does that all the time. He comes out with like a mouth guard. You can see like clear as day like this top row of teeth with that. And I just remember seeing that, like one of my favorite things from that, like he sees Neville show up and Sheamus is coming out and Neville's just like looking over him. He's like, all right, he pushed the thing in. He's like, okay, I need to prepare. Another Survivor Series match for free TV. But it's 4-on-4, so traditional Survivor Series match? No. It's the entire Wyatt family versus the Primetime Players and the Lucha Dragons. And this one took like a good, I guess maybe like a fourth of the show because it was like 2 hours long. But this was basically, hey, it's the full Wyatt family now, and we're gonna actually build these guys up to be strong because they took out the Undertaker and Kane. So we gotta make these guys look good. Strowman, who destroyed the PTP before and does so again here, bear hugs Darren Young till he just spills out onto the ring on the floor and just gets counted out. I'm like, wow. Sin Cara beheaded via Luke Harper's clothesline. Kalisto, that new Rey Mysterio, like, oh, I'm gonna clear the odds and do the thing. But he's by himself as O'Neal is already down somehow, and full Nelson Slam from Eric Rowan drops him. So now it's down to Titus O'Neil versus 4 Wyatts, who, after nearly getting a pinfall, the rest of the Wyatts just jump on the guy. I was thinking just send Strowman out there, like no one's beaten him yet, but no, it's like, I see what you're doing. You gotta elongate this match and make these guys like look good, make these guys look stars, make these guys look credible again. Because so I'm like, all right, wasn't like, again, I would just send Strowman out there, but I get what they're doing. And Strowman bear hug on Titus, 2 tags in Bray to finish him off with Sister Abigail. Clean sweep. Everybody gets like their big finishers ends. Everyone takes out at least one member of the other team. So I'm like, okay, good stuff. Renee interview with her Or, forgot the word I was going to use for that. The hubby? No, that's not the word. Because they're not like, where are they? But yeah, Dean Ambrose, he's main event, one-on-one, Kevin Owens. Curtain up, baby. Dean's like, yeah, I meditated, listened to some John Denver, breathed in that Colorado air, and my future looks bright. And Owens like, what are you talking about? You're annoying Renee, number one. Number two, you're going against me tonight, the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. Something you know nothing about. Even though he was like the longest reigning United States Champion. Well, he hardly defended it, but yeah, could make that argument. And Dean's like, yeah, I think there's a pin involved. You know, like I pinned you on Monday. Shots fired. And Owen's like, oh, big difference between that 10-man circus and tonight. So I'll see you out there. And Dean's like, you know, John Denver warned me about that guy. You know, Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. And Owens is the entire mountain. Yeah. Dig it. Look at him up there. He's going to throw that mountain goat off of him. Oh, the Papa Parabum, uno, dos, tres, sonata. Yeah. I don't know what I was saying at the end there, so I'm going to stop before I break my voice again. Yeah. Oh, Cena, get me a glass of water. I'm going to bend it. Where's my theme music? Seriously though, did you notice this too? I think it's on YouTube, but he's Barrett's got like actual theme music. Like he's got the same music, but it actually has lyrics. Apparently stumbled on this while New Legacy was doing their draft thing. If you big fans of those, I don't know if you follow them at all. New Legacy Inc.
I follow them, so.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, cool. He takes on Ryblue, who just shifts momentum on after the match and wins. I wasn't actually paying much attention to this because it's Cause I'm like, I don't know, I was distracted by something. You know what it was? I was probably watching other stuff on, because again, I usually have like the network usually on commercials, and I'll come back to that, and it's like, I think it was. Because this is like the second hour, so they do WWE stuff, and I think it was like Diesel was he was the former champion and getting at it with Vince and something like that. And at the same time, the 1-2-3 Kid had aligned himself with Ted DiBiase, so he was like, oh, he's like the new $1 Million Man now. Like, yeah, because everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man. Fucking love it. Renee with Team Bad. Sasha says, you know, Natty wanted attention. We gave it to her. And Renee says, Natty on her Facebook, because I guess that's how we do things now, she issued a challenge to the leader of Team Bad, whoever that may be. And Naomi's like, I know what she's doing. And that may work on Team PCB or the Bellas, but not us. She wants to call out the leader. She's going to get her. And Sasha's like, yeah, you're damn right she is. And she leaves as Naomi, and Tamina later follow. Dissension? They argue who it's going to be. Like, both of them are like on the top rope. It's like, oh, I'm going to fight her. No, I'm going to fight her. Well, I was thinking they were going to outsmart Natalya and just all three hit that, just go over that rope, and then it's just like a three, and it's like, oh, it's apparently a 3-on-1 handicap match. I'm like, huh. That would have been the smart way to do it, but Big Sis Tamina steps in. Oh, Tamina. I feel for you. You're doing the right thing for your team. When will it work out for you? I feel bad about her having to lose to Natty, which she does, because she always loses. Ugh. We get news on Seth's big injury. He's going to be out, apparently, was like 6 to 9 months, so like almost a year for this guy. I'm like, wow. Really bad timing on WWE's part. And that's where I got the idea for doing the Deadly Game thing, because it's like a Survivor Series in a big tournament. And apparently the comments on that video had the same fucking idea. Because I was like, oh, to bring this back now, especially after what happened. It was like a couple days ago. I'm like, oh, shit. So, speaking of which, I'm hoping these two will be in it, the big tournament, Ambrose and Owens. Dean throws Owens into the barricade. Later, Owens returns the favor. And since Cole's on Raw, Owens is like, hey, Jerry, check this shit out. I posed this on Twitter too. Like, were Jerry Lawler and Cole against Owens being in the WWE because of his size? Do you know anything about that? I know that's the... Because I know what was it, Karma? She was like, they said I was too big to be in the WWE, so I went to Japan and did all this, scrubbed floors till I learned the craft from there, and I came back as this fucking nightmare. And she's back over in TNA, but whatever. Bubba's not there anymore, so it's fine. I don't know. Maybe Owens wishes like it was Cornette, so he can yell at him. I know they don't like each other. Or at least I know Cornette doesn't like Owens. I think Owens, well, he's in the big company, and so I was like, fuck it. That's how I would look at it. I know they don't like each other. Beautiful superplex from Dean. Owens gets to spin him around to his back and body drops him in retaliation. This match ends kind of a weird bullshit way, because Ambrose is about to, he does the setup for Dirty Deeds. He goes for like the big boot to the chest. And Owens starts selling it like he got hit in the junk. Like, he hit me in the dick. So the refs disqualifies him. And then we get to the replay. And from like one angle, it looks like he might have kicked him there. And then we see the other angle, and I was like, clear as a bell, hitting him indeed right on the chest of Owens. And now the ref's like, hey, he's admonishing Owens, like, what the fuck, man? Like, you. And Ambrose is upset and just flies out at him not once but twice as Owens heads for the hills. And that's SmackDown. And I guess that's the podcast, unless you had your question. But before you get to that, I spoke with Vexper, because we mentioned the Survivor Series team 5-on-5, and his was like he had a whole match put up together. He was going to do like a 5 versus 5. It was like the old school versus new school, kind of. He had Sami Zayn, Owens, and The Shield on one end versus the entire team of DX, Shawn, Hunter, Pac, and the Outlaws on the other end. So it's kind of a passing the torch kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Because he wanted like WWE versus NXT, basically. And I'm like, yeah, I could see that.
Alright, so anywho with that, we're on to our final segment, which is the fantasy draft segment, and which it is that we're already mentioned Survivor Series teams. We're going to be counting our favorite Survivor Series moments. So, with that, you don't basically have to do it in any order, just mentioning some of our favorite Survivor Series moments. Of course, how can I mention Survivor Series without the debut with The Undertaker back at the 1990 Survivor Series?
Look at the size of this guy. Is that what that's from? I think I.
Yeah, look at the size of that guy. Look at the size of that ham hock.
Yeah.
Of course, Survivor Series 98 with Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon pulling a swerve on all of the fans by having The Rock join the corporation.
That's the Deadly Game Tournament.
Yep.
That's what I'm thinking here, because here's what I'm thinking is going to happen for the tournament this year. It's going to be, hey, got to keep Roman strong. He's got the title, but Sheamus cashes in, and he's got the belt now. So I'm like, that would be I'm thinking they're going predictable. I don't know if there'd be like any surprises along the way. Who knows? That'd be like that's probably like the bare minimum. I'm thinking that's like the safest bet, like the bare minimum, like of course they're going to do it like that kind of thing. I'm hoping they do something
favorite
different.
Survivor Series moment. Of course, we have Survivor Series 94, for when we had fucking Owen Hart made his brother tap out to Bob Backlund's CrossFit Chicken Wing by making his own mother and father thrown in the towel. They're doing a fucking scumbag move to get the title off his brother.
Ooh. They swerved him.
Or then, of course, Survivor Series 96 with Bret Hart's return, taking on Stone Cold Steve Austin, one of the best matches ever. Speaking of which, on that same show, had fucking one of Undertaker's most awesome entrances that kind of got under the rug, where Undertaker came out of the Raptors looking like fucking Batman.
Oh, that was the Survivor. That thing was Survivor Series. That was cool.
Yeah, Survivor Series 96. Also, of course, you can't mention Survivor Series without the Montreal Screwjob.
That was a big one, yeah. It was one of those
So,
change the landscape kind of moments. I can't
Yep,
remember much of
changed
the
the whole
Survivor
landscape.
Series other than that one match that I think it was the Hardys. It was DX with Triple H and Shawn Michaels and CM Punk, and they were in I think they were in Chicago, so the whole crowd the whole time was like chanting CM Punk, and Triple H had to like kind of like pass the torch just a little bit, and I was like, that's right, CM Punk's here, and he's got 2 words, and he's got something to say, and he lets him do the DX thing, and I was like, oh, that's cool. You can tell he's
actually,
over.
they're in Philadelphia.
Oh, it was
actually
Philly.
in Philadelphia.
Yeah, okay. It's
Yeah, that was
ECW crowd, right? Okay, that makes sense too.
Yeah,
I forget where.
Also, for got Survivor Series moment for where they had one shot to push Kofi and they blew it. Where fucking Kofi eliminated 2 guys in like 10 seconds flat at Survivor Series 2009.
I wonder if he'll be in that again, like a Survivor Series. Because you gotta do things where you do those teams, but then you gotta put like some titles on the back burner. It's like, okay, they're in a Survivor Series match, they can't defend the titles, so. And now we got the tournament, so who knows? Well, did they even have Survivor Series in the first Deadly Game tournament? Did they even do the 5-on-5 thing? Because I think that whole night was the tournament.
No.
They might do that again this year.
Night
Maybe that's why they're doing this for free. They might be able to get away with this now.
Yeah, so anywho, that concludes this podcast. See y'all later.
Take care.